welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Our Life. So, we are continuing with the next chapter of Our Life. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggled up in bed, celebrating your time off by sleeping in, wide awake, about to head out to enjoy your time off. I don't sleep hardly ever. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like to stay curled up in bed, and I will work on, like, YouTube, like, relaxing in bed, but I get up, I go do things. I'm mostly a homebody, though. You saw Elizabeth with a raised eyebrow. Yeah, she's really turning into one of those girls. Have you been staring at yourself this whole morning? Go away. She ignored that, crossing her arms over her chest with a disgruntled expression. Clearly, she hasn't come in just to see you. Your special boy is at the door like he always is now. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him and say thanks or whatever. You did not like the way she called him your special boy, but you knew now that saying so wouldn't stop her.
Come on.
So come down already. Okay. Alright, so Elizabeth said nothing else and left, having done what was instructed of her. Now alone, you focused on the mirror once again. Your reflection hardly even fit in the frame. You're very tall. I'm not tall at all. There was a lot of open real estate in the frame. You were pretty short. You had trouble getting your reflection to appear in the rounded picture frame. You're very short. I am very short. I am 4'10". So I feel that. You were even smaller than Derek. People were always surprised to find out you and Cove were the same age, considering the almost comical height difference. It's like that with everyone, okay? Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can pull this up. I will throw it into editing. But I want to make sure I do have a side-by-side photo of me and Cass. Because it's funny. I mean, I have side-by-side photos of me and Will. And I am only 4'10". I can't remember for the life of me how tall Cass is. I like my height, to be honest. It suited you well in your mind. Okay, you put the finishing touches on your outfit. Careless as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to today, so this worked in your favor. It was when you spotted your reflection, you realized you were smiling wide. You were looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, taking an easy time down the stairs. Alrighty. Step 2, second change. You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands when she was perusing through. Good morning, Mom. She looked up from your greeting, smile appearing on your face. Okay, so her hair doesn't look much different. Or no, she wasn't the one who dyed her hair. It was the other one. Okay, Mom's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house just as she said. Mom was making conversation. She must have heard you and looked over her shoulder.
Oh.
Okay, so she did dye her hair. That does look cute on her. Morning, sleepyhead. Okay. Oh my god, I'm in the way of the choices. Let me throw myself in the corner. Time out for me. That should be fine for now. I dodged. You're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race.
Honey.
I don't think the excuse will work if you're late for anyone other than your own mother, though. That's fair. Aw. Okay. His features were pinched in embarrassment as he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must must be the much talked about gift. You figured it must be a bouquet of flowers, and you gave it a real look. Instead, it was carefully cut through. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had suppressed a laugh at the showing. You couldn't imagine how many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. At the sight of you, Cove smiled, but there was some nervousness to it. You couldn't help thinking to when you first met Cove and how you became such good friends. Lately, though, you were starting to have different feelings for him. Hey, it's nice to see you. The grip on the base of the gift tightened, and your heartbeat sped up. Even if neither of you have spoken about it, both of you were where something new was growing in your relationship. It was already shaping up to be another long summer. The best part was the two of you had plenty of time to spend together and explore what was developing. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back up. Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. Your hands brushed over his just slightly when you took a hold of the base. He flinched enough for you to know with certainty that he noticed it happen. You couldn't help but to smile to yourself. With that, the gift was accepted. Hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift, I think so anyway. Okay. Thank you. Could you tell your dad we love the gift? Mr. Holden's behavior really was different from any neighbor you had ever had, though after 5 years you were used to his antics. Okay. He was great. He was nice. You knew he wasn't completely perfect, but it always seemed to try so hard for the sake of others. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are. You shared a confused look with Cove as both of you stepped through the open door into the neighboring street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. Let me slide back over. I'm sure I'm going to be covering Derek's face here in a second. Let me just try to really cut my frame a little. I guess that works. I'll squeeze down too. You were happy at the sight of him. You were confused. You were displeased. I'm gonna be confused. You hadn't expected to see Derek today, though you never really knew when he'd appear. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek reached over to catch his breath. Then he looked up to you with a wide grin. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Lynk's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you just always there? Derek turned to you. Oh, okay, well, I just realized Derek's right there, so I could go over here. He was gonna say more, but then his eyes widened and he gasped. What is that? You followed his gaze, unsure, then you realized what he meant. You were holding Mr. Holden's gift. It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit. Can I have some? It's a gift for the family. Maybe you could have some later. Awesome. Then he nodded his head as to clear it. Need to say something big. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Cove was surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they here with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. No, the new kid was all by himself just walking. Did you talk to him? Nope, I came to report the sighting right away. The kid had green hair and glasses, was pretty small, seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. You blinked slowly, looked over to your longtime neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove, when you first got here anyway. Kinda does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well now that you say so. What would you say? Let's go find Cove's lookalike. We should all meet him. I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Eric grinned and pointed down the street the way he came. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Derek brought you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon underneath the raised sun. No, with his erratic movements and scrunched up expression, he came off angrily. You started to have doubts about this expedition. Maybe it'd be better if you left him alone and let him sort things out himself. Derek didn't feel the same. Calling out the boy, "Hey guy, over here." The kid whipped around, an impressive scowl carving deeper into his face. Looks like a grumpy old man. "What do you want?" The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. "So what's your name?" "Jeremy." "Was that it?" No, I'm Derek, and that's Lynk and Cove. We're just walking around and saw you, wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in this neighborhood, so yeah, you know, it's cool to see someone else here. Okay then. They did bring me somewhere stupid, of course, I knew it. What?
My parents.
They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own? Right, my dad brings me to Sunset Bird too when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it. Glancing away, it was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation, probably, either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time, a chore. My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come to see them. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too? That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? Okay then. They should have gone by themselves, but since they cared so much, but I'm not allowed to be by myself. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid? In your cereal this morning.
That's disgusting.
Why would you say something like that?
Sheesh.
It's just an expression. You thought for one hopeful second that maybe he was calming himself down. So what, you're putting it in people's heads? I don't want to have to think about that, and someone brainless might decide it's a good idea to actually do it. There's some real stupids out in the world, you know. You're all living proof of that.
Hey!
Wow. How are you gonna prove that when you're just saying one moronic thing after another? The two of you aren't that similar after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing though because he caught the private exchange.
Stupid.
Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Ooh. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger or maybe both. How can you say that when you got a bowl cut? I mean, for real. Don't listen to him, they're unique and special. That's it, I'm roasting this twerp. Yep, it's embarrassing and awful, but my parents made me and I won't have to have it when I'm older. Well, guess what? I don't know what he's gonna do with those things except maybe shave them off. He probably should. He'd look less dumb with no eyebrows. Yeah, grin at him. He wasn't the nicest kid you ever met, but he certainly wasn't the dullest. He rejected your amusement by grimacing harder than he thought. Wow, what's wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and sulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go hunched over until he became a speck in your vision. My God. Alright, I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of the earlier complaints, this new boy Jeremy was going to be in this area for at least a little this summer. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed and Cove did too shortly.
Sucks.
He shook his head after a moment, slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But you know what would really improve the day? Instead, he used a hand to point right at about it during the mini drama that unfolded. You had gotten used to the wait. Glancing over at Cove, you noticed he was eyeing the fruit. He must want some too. Why not? Let's eat.
Are you sure?
Alrighty, so you guys are eating the fruit. I would take a strawberry because I don't like any other fruit. Ooh, my hand is like numb. I'm holding it awkwardly. This is amazing. Not different than any normal fruit. It's kind of worse. These have been out in the open with their skins off for a while. Sheesh. If you remember Land Before Time, that fruit thing makes me think of it. All the dinosaurs that liked the leaves that were shaped like sharks. I love Land Before Time. That makes me so happy. We actually watched that while we were camping. In the camper, we had a little TV and we hooked it to Netflix and watched Land Before Time. Tree stars. I love that movie. Eating leaves looks good. Should I worry about you? I love that movie. Okay. You weren't supposed to eat all of it. You couldn't stop yourself from saying as boys. You just wanted to eat some and have a nice time. You're probably gonna get in trouble. You can only accept it though. That was pretty cool what you said back at that guy. Oh, thanks. I was just saying what I thought. You totally owned him. I don't know what his parents say, but it's good at least somebody is around to tell him what's what. Alrighty, so you're both ready for summer break? Yeah. Wish I could feel the same. It feels like there's a lot to plan for. What about you, Cove? Are you ready? I think that depends. Before you could say anything else, the light atmosphere was shattered.
Hey!
You glance over your shoulder to see your sister strode closer. I've been looking for you, Ma said. You and Cove ran off the thing. So where is it? Well, it's gone. What do you mean gone? You moved over to the side to face her completely. She zeroed in on the bouquet in your hands, which was now populated exclusively with skewers dripping juice.
What?
That was supposed to be for all of us at home. Even if you are the most important person in the household, to the delivery boy, that was up to his dad. Oh. It seemed that everybody was in the mood to tease you and Cove today. Within moments, Cove's cheeks flushed red. He picked up the hem of his shirt, suddenly finding it very interesting. Get over it. I think I hear the mean kid coming back. We better get out of here.
What?
What kid? I don't see anyone. Derek didn't bother explaining. He just launched off his feet and ran, hopped up to, gladly taking the opportunity to exit the situation. But he sent you a look from over his shoulder, turned to watch Elizabeth with her. I ran. Without a word, you got off your feet too, bolted down the beach.
So immature.
She shook her head as she walked towards the house, not bothering whatsoever to follow. We escaped and shall live to see another day. Alrighty. You'd gotten a bit of a scolding from your moms for not saving any of Mr. Holden's gift for Elizabeth, but you didn't get any real punishment for it. Instead, while you were out with the boys, Elizabeth returned home to share the news. The three of them went to go get dessert on their own. It was declared even by your parents when everyone got back and the event was settled. That was a while ago now. Later that night, you found yourself seated near the kitchen counter. Your fingers drummed on the surface as you waited, your gaze trained on the phone. You were waiting on a call tonight, specifically from your cousin, Leandra? That's kind of pretty. Leandra? You didn't want to miss it accidentally. Your uncle, aunt, and Lee used to live many hours away. Your families only saw each other a few times a year for big occasions. A while back, though, they moved and were closer to you than before. Now you hung out regularly. Alright, she used to be really fond of Elizabeth, too, but now that your sister had become allergic to interacting with her own family, it tended to just be you and Lee who spent time together. Being family helped make you close, but you had a lot of girlfriends. She was only your friend. I really don't have a lot of friends that are female. It's kind of funny. You weren't a girl yourself, so maybe that was why. I mean, that's kind of valid. I mean, in school I hung out with a lot of girls, but they were all like really fake friends. There was only one person I would consider a legit friend, but for the most part, like they just kind of all had their moments where, you know, being friends with me was a chore, and it was high school. I didn't have a lot of friends either. Quality was more important than quantity. You weren't sure how friendship quality was judged, but nevertheless you thought what you had with Lee was good. Alrighty. Hello.
Hi!
I'm so glad it's you. For a second there, I thought I might be one of Elizabeth's friends. There was static on the other end as if Lee was shifting wherever she was. Can you believe school's actually over? I thought it'd never be done. Speaking of hanging out, Lee, can you wait a second? Let me head to my room. You got up from your seat at the counter. Luckily, the phone was wireless, so you didn't have to worry about any cords tying you down. Your mom had a rule about not moving the phone unless a call was in progress, which is why you'd been sat by the cradle waiting for Lee to call. You thought it made sense. It was nice to keep everything in its proper place, but for now Lee had called. It was okay for you to go upstairs to your bedroom and talk to her. After you had arrived, you shut the door firmly behind you. You took a seat. Alright, I'm here.
Cool.
Hey, did you know the girl down the street from me has her own phone now, a cell phone? She doesn't have to wait for someone else to stop using it or anything. The thought of someone having a phone like that, all their own, seemed unbelievable to you. Wish I had one too, but my parents said I couldn't get my own phone until I'm more grown up. I wish they would change their mind. We could call each other every single day. But it wouldn't, I would still be using the home phone. That'd be really great. We could even stay up late talking about whatever we want. At least they said I could have it someday. I can't wait. Not gonna get one all the way to college. It was strange to think of a time when normal school would be over. You'd have to choose whether or not to go to college. School was a big part of your life right now. Studying didn't come easy to you, though you tried hard. You worked about as hard as most people, got pretty average results as well. Never tried so much, you still didn't do that bad, didn't bother in school, your grades reflected that. Everything in your classes came easily to you, you worked hard for excellent grades. I suck at studying, but things tend to come really easy to me except for math class, so we'll go with, you knew it wasn't important and you wanted to do well. You felt a lot of pressure to get higher grades than you did last year. You hoped you do just as well this year, but it wouldn't be a big deal if they drop some. I was confident it'd still be good.
What's up?
You sound so spacey. What's up? Just thinking about school. You were thinking about how we don't have to think. Are you thinking about how we don't have to think about it because it's summer? That's what I'm doing. Let's make a petition for more vacation time. Okay, when new things could be cool. I wish everyone did okay with how they taught the things, not just some
Me
people.
too.
Nobody really comes here, Lucky, mine's boring. But that was all.
Alright.
3, the topic of school is officially closed. Okay. I want to spend time with people. I got some new art supplies. Movies and TV, time at the beach. I don't want to do anything at all. It's a vacation. I got new art supplies. I love doing art as a teenager. Can't wait to see what you make. Lean back in your bed, continue chatting. For one, the events of the day set up further. It was with Cove and Derek, with the new kid. What was he like? Mean. He was mean. But especially Cove, it was awful. I don't think I want to meet him. You want a boy to stay away before even meeting him? That's an unexpected twist. Hey, who are you to talk? You practically give all your attention to boys, or maybe just one boy. I see how much you like Cove. Yeah, you got me. There was a stomping noise approaching your room. Rival of your irritated older sister, she flung the door open.
Come on.
How long are you gonna hog the phone? Glancing at your watch, you realized that your quick call had gone on much longer than anticipated. She noticed the realization on your face. Time's up. Gotta go, I'll see you soon. Tell Elizabeth and your mom I said hi too. You barely pressed the end call button when Elizabeth whisked the phone, or whisked the handset away from your fingers and began dialing someone new as she strode out of the room. Has anyone seen the phone? I'm using it. That was one way to end your first day of summer break. Sometime later, it got dark outside. You laid in bed, wide awake. Your window rattled all of a sudden, startling you badly. You flinched and stared over at it with furrowed brows. From your vantage point, you only saw the moon and an open sky. You were confused. What had caused that noise? Frowning, you sat up and moved closer to the window. Might as well find the reason behind your disturbance. To your utter shock, your gaze was met by a pair of familiar ocean blue eyes. You squinted. Yep, Cove was right outside your window. Your house was very angular, so some parts stuck out further than others, so theoretically it wouldn't be hard to climb around on. Still, just because somebody could doesn't mean you expected it to ever happen. To his credit, Cove was doing just fine. His feet were balanced against the section of the wall that jutted out, his arms flexing with effort to keep him upright. He easily lifted a hand and waved at you from the other side of the glass. Open the window, Clove. That's why we had to choose his pajamas. You just, in your pajamas, came over to my house, alright. What are you doing? What's up, Romeo? This is a surprise, but you're always welcome here. Is everything okay? What happened? You're lucky I didn't start screaming. Amazing, my turn to... Oh, what's up, Romeo? Need to talk to you. Gonna wait till tomorrow. Oh. If I rang the doorbell, I know your moms would have answered and they would have just made me go home. I really didn't want to explain why I was coming over anyway. I don't want to talk about it. Well, besides with you. I mean, that's why I did that. As unexpected as this was, you were touched that Cove felt like he could tell you something was wrong. I might have tried to calling or something, except my dad was on the phone. Cove suddenly looked very cross. He was talking to my mom, still is probably. You raised your eyebrow, Cove had eavesdropped on his parents' phone conversation. Eavesdropping is bad, I would have done that too. He didn't comment on it. There were other things to talk about. Are you going to stay with your mom for a while again? Every year, Cove was sent off to live with his mom for a few weeks. When it happened, varied. Sometimes he'd go during winter break, but usually he went during summer. Even though it was hard news, when you found out he was leaving, you missed seeing him those weeks and you understood. To your surprise, however, he shook his head. That's what I thought too, but no, that's not what they were saying. My dad asked my mom not to have me leave this year. He said she could come stay with us here. We waited for him to continue, but he didn't. The conversation abruptly dropped off. You couldn't help but to stare at Cove. It was a complicated mix of expressions on his face. You'd heard Cove talk about his mom a lot over the years. He'd tell you about past memories or what happened while he was visiting her. But it was still one thing to hear about someone and another thing to actually meet them. Very soon they would be seeing Cove's mom in person. You were taken back by the news, so you can only imagine how Cove felt. You looked over at him, pacing across his room. Before, they'd barely stay in the same room long enough to have lunch. Now we're gonna be all together again, the three of us, after all this time, for just a few weeks. I know I should probably be happy that they can talk to each other now. I'm still not. I'm just confused and freaked out now. I actually feel bad for feeling this way. It's so... I shouldn't keep getting like this. It's been a long time already and I'm not a little kid. You knew, waiting for you. He was waiting for you to say something. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad. It's hard to deal with. We can deal with this. I'm sorry, Cove. You know I'm always here for you. Yeah, that's a lot. There's nothing wrong with feeling bad about it. It is hard to deal with. The tense line of Cove's shoulders eased. Thanks. It makes me feel a little bit better. Like I'm not freaking out for no reason. You marveled at how the day started. Woken up eager for summer vacation. Now things seem so crazy. The mini debacle with Mr. Holden's gift, the newest addition to the neighborhood being so rude. And if that wasn't enough, now Cove's mom would be living with Cove and his dad again. Your whole life was kind of like that, it seemed. Complicated and hard and different. Why couldn't things just get better over time? The sound of your name, said quietly, pulled you from your thoughts. Cove gazed at you concerned. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Cove grinned reassuringly. It was small, delicate, but you knew it was genuine. Moonlight from the outside cast shadows around his face. His eyes lit up and they seemed to sparkle with his smile. Just that one look brightened your whole mood somewhat. You know what, I think I don't want to talk about any more of this. Okay, but I kinda don't want to go back home. Could I stay a little bit longer, just doing something else? I'm only assuming it's like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We're both 13-year-olds. He's sneaking into my house. You can stay tonight, but we shouldn't make a habit of this. I got flashlight and some cards. Are you in? Of course, you could always stay here, Cove. He held his gaze confidently, hoping your words got across to him. Alright, so I am actually gonna end this episode here. Wait. Son of a biscuit eating butt munch. How did I mess this up? There we go. Anyways, so like I said, I'm gonna end this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.